Coming back out of remote learning with our hybrid plan with students also having kids that are remaining virtual, we knew we had to come up with some pretty strategic initiatives that would keep all students engaged.
Our administrators came to us as teachers and they asked us, what do you think would work best with round 2? And we wanted consistency, and we also wanted extra time to remediate. This consistent schedule in the morning has helped us keep everybody logged in, because it's like my students said, it doesn't matter whether I'm in the building or whether I'm at home. I get to see Ms. Jackson, I get to see my classmates. We have a community online, and that's extremely important.
I like how they incorporated the fact that we get to every class every single day, and that it's not too long and not too short where they can keep our attention the entire class period.
In the afternoon, we have an extra time to check back with our kids that are in the building and to give them more. And that achievement gap that we saw with our students works when we have them in the building and we have extra time with them.
I like the schedule. Like Jackson said, we get to see every teacher and every class period, and then we get to go back the second time for a slightly longer amount of time if we need any extra help, and I think that's really good for us. That works well.
Another nice initiative that we have started here is our homework hotline. It is a Google Meet where kids can log on to either the ELA or the math Google Meet to get help. Those meets happen on the weeknights between 6 and 7 p.m. and we've got 2 teachers per evening that volunteer, one for the math help and one for the ELA. The really nice thing about it is that kids feel comfortable getting one-on-one help. What's really cool about it is that for me as a math teacher, I am able to build relationships with kids that I don't even teach. It's really helped me get to know, number 1, their curriculum, and number 2, what they're struggling with.
It was nice seeing my teachers because then I could talk to them like after class, and I wouldn't have to be with like lots of kids listening to my concerns, and it made me feel comfortable.
We actually wrote an initiative this year through Dare Education Foundation for microscopes that could be used to kind of bridge the gap between the kids that are live in the classroom and the kids that are virtual, and also give them the experience of seeing something that, you know, through a microscope you don't recognize as being that tiny, because typically in the classroom the kids are seeing things like cells in diagrams on a paper or in a textbook. And so we wrote this initiative so we could bring these microscopes into the classroom so that they could actually see these things in their teeny tiny typical fashion. So thank you again to Dare Education Foundation, because we came away with 2 beautiful, very interactive microscopes, and we really appreciate you.
Another step we took was core teachers identified students who were virtual that may need additional support. And so we reached out to parents and students via Google Voice and text message to help them and support them to have academic success.
When we came back from being virtual into the classroom, we have time called our Braves time, and it is a 40-minute enrichment period where kids are getting caught up. Some of our students are caught up. They did a great job over virtual. How do we feel that is what we call a Genius Hour, where kids are taking things that they're interested in that relate to the curriculum and working on it together with groups, but on their own. It's things that they're interested in. We're using 21st century skills with this. One of the things the kids like to do is 3D printing. They'll create things, they'll send them to me, and I'll print them out on our 3D printer. They're also working together on projects that they really have a huge interest in.
So during remote learning, it's really important for our middle schoolers to be able to have a sense of community, because that's a big part of a middle schooler's life, because their life evolves around their friends. And when we were remote, we felt like that was missing. So we came up with some opportunities to meet with these students virtually. And one of them was virtual lunches. So students would be sent a schedule for 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, and they would give a time slot and they would sign on, and we basically just chatted. It was a way for them to socialize with their friends as if they were in the school building. We also reached out to parents and families during this time. We did family gym kit nights. We really wanted to keep that school community even though we were virtual.
I'm just super proud of our staff. We have an amazing staff that has thought outside the box and came up with some initiatives that they thought would fill a need. These initiatives have been a success, and we think that we'll probably continue to use them and enhance them in the future.